And we back, and we back, and we back. Welcome everyone to episode 54 of Stock Talk with Josh and
Niko.
Nico. What's up, man?
Oh, nothing much. Getting ready for another episode of the podcast here. We got lots of good stuff to talk about.
I'm excited. Round of applause.
But unfortunately, we don't have a guest today, which is kind of disappointing.
Hey, but you know what? Guess what? You got the two. They got the two of us. So
Just the two of us.
we can make it every day. Just the two of us. All right, but besides that, let's do like a quick life update. Well, what's been going on with us? But first, let's start with the podcast. You know, some big
Yeah.
news happened with us at the podcast that you actually just started. So
Related
what's
to
that?
related to the podcast would be a new Discord chat that is completely free, only for people talking about investing and stock market related stuff. So if you're interested in that, you can find that on my social media, Stock Talk with Niko Kritikos. We'll probably put a link in there, and there'll be plenty of ways to find it if you are interested.
Yeah, and once again, what's the Discord again? Just to say like the name of it.
Should
Everyone
be
has-
Stock Talk with Niko Kritikos.
Okay, how about the Josh part?
I forgot about that guy. I forgot about that guy.
Okay, but yeah, Stock Talk with Nico.
Kritikos, yeah.
Make sure you guys tune in to the Discord. We're gonna be doing a lot of cool things. Talk about investing, all of in there. So definitely join in if you haven't already. But all right, so besides the Discord stuff, how you been doing personally?
I would say pretty good. My band's been playing some music. I've been trying to keep up with my YouTube channel and jumping around different jobs, but overall pretty good.
And real quick, what's the YouTube for just you?
The YouTube for just me is Stock Talk with Niko Kritikos. As with the Instagram, we got Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and a TikTok, and then we're gonna have the same thing for Stock Talk with Josh and Niko. Recently, I made the Instagram page for the podcast, and then we also have a TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, all that stuff.
Yeah, so make sure you guys. I know we kind of said a lot of things, a lot of Stock Talk with Nico, Josh kind of stuff, but make sure you check all those different platforms to be like a little bit more in tune with us going forward.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's go to me. Yeah, same thing. Work. What's that one thing that Spider-Man said to Doc Ock?
With power comes great responsibility.
No, not that. He asked Peter, like something like, I'm just trying my best, something like that. He thought he said, but yeah, kind of like on just the basics of like the early 20-year-old kid. Like I think that's what I'm just going through. But yeah, any stocks you've been buying? I know, like I told you, my Amazon stock's going up. I didn't buy that, but I also bought some more AMD. You all know I'm a big fan of AMD. And Disney. I bought into Disney. So
That's good. Disney's a weird one. Disney, I think a lot of people are looking at that right now, and most people think, oh, this is a great deal. Disney's going to come back, but it's been kind of stagnant around this $80 to $90 a share mark. So it's kind of
I
weird.
will say I bought Disney, especially after I left Disney World a couple weeks ago.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
How was that?
I wish I was still there.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. And if everyone has not been to Disney World, make sure you go to
Wait,
Epcot.
so is it a Fright Fest?
Yeah, it was like the Fright Fest thing going
That's
on. But
cool.
I think that was with Universal. Universal
Yeah.
has like their Fright Fest thing.
Universal did it, and Six Flags has been doing
yeah.
it too.
Mhm.
But that's cool.
But how about stocks you've been buying?
The other stocks I've been buying are I bought Waste Management. I think I'm up 6%. That was just a couple weeks ago I bought that. I bought PayPal this past week, a couple days ago, which PayPal is a stock that me and PayPal have a bad history. And in the past
Me too.
I've said I'm not buying that stock ever again because I was very mad at that company. But now I changed my mind. I forgave them, and now we're back on good terms. Because PayPal is trading at, I believe, 11 times earnings or something super cheap. Normally it's trading at 20, 30 times earnings. So I feel like the risk to reward is very good at this point. It's possible the stock keeps going down and it trades at 7 or 8 times earnings, but that is just, you're betting against the odds if you're thinking that's going to happen. So I'm pretty happy with, I didn't make a giant position. I made a small position, so we'll see what happens. Other than PayPal, let's see. I think I bought more UPS. I bought more Ulta Beauty. What else? I was kind of interested I bought a couple shares of Planet Fitness. I don't know if we talked about this in the last
I think
show.
we did last episode.
Maybe
yeah.
we did, because, that happened several weeks ago. And Planet Fitness I think it's up 15% or something from the lows. But the problem is I only bought a couple shares. I didn't really make a big position. But it is what it is.
Okay, cool. And real quick, going back to when we talking about Disney, did you see the news with? Well, it's kind of been going with the back and forth with DeSantis and Disney
Yeah,
for
what
like
happened?
the past over a year. I think now Disney's like lawyers, they accuse DeSantis of withholding legal documents that were needed.
But I thought didn't DeSantis is the one who backed off of it a little bit?
I think so.
I think he backed off.
Yeah. So, like you were saying, like the big problem with Disney is like what's going to be going on with. Are they going to be leaving from Florida at all? Things like that.
That would be bad.
That'd be really.
But that
bad.
can't really. That's why DeSantis would back off because he's not going to let that happen. That's like Florida's biggest moneymaker.
One of especially top 3.
Yeah, that's a big thing. I mean, I think going back to like a year ago, what the problem was with Disney was their income and their free cash flow dropped so much because I think they're just running out of ways to make money. I think Disney Plus is kind of costing them a lot of money, and there's a lot of competition now. The parks are still busy though, and the parks are a fortune.
Yeah, it was really busy. You know what's crazy? Like when I was there, like first week of October, second week of October, it was busy.
Yeah,
like it was packed.
Yeah, it seems like it's always busy there, and it's not cheap. People are spending tons and tons of money while they're there.
It's not cheap.
So the profit margins are huge, but that's not really like a growth vector for them. Like they pretty much took that as far as they can. They can't charge $50 for popcorn. You know?
Well, like another thing too, I think the big thing is like they want to kind of like upgrade the park too, like kind of.
Oh.
I think like the sizing is like the big issue. Like can we make a new one, things like that. So I think that's another reason what the big argument's been doing.
Okay, so there's that, but I mean, other than that, I don't know what else they would. What else is going to bring back strong income for them and have them grow? I don't know.
Yeah, because
I think they sold ESPN, right?
I think they still got it.
Oh, okay.
Got it.
No, I thought they were selling it. Let me check.
I'm not sure, but yeah, Disney Plus they don't have like the big heaters that they used to have. Like when they first came out with Disney Plus, like everyone wants to like see WandaVision. Like they don't have that with Disney Plus. I do know Loki new season came out, but I haven't really heard nothing about it. Besides it being like a good show, but like not like a huge kind of like when Netflix drops. What's that? What's the name of that one show with Asia? They like had the game that people died in. What's the name?
Squid Games.
Yeah, Squid Games. It's not like a squid. Like Disney Plus does have like a Squid Games. Shall I say?
Okay, so they said they're not selling. They said they're open to selling part of ESPN, and they're not selling ABC. But they said they're in order to get the company back on track, they're open to a strategic partner.
Okay.
Buying out part of ESPN. So that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. And while we're talking about Disney Plus, I think soon they announced they've been doing like a streaming with ads. So you see
Okay.
So a lot of other companies doing it. Like Netflix started it. It was very successful. And you see now Disney Plus is going to start doing it.
Was it when Netflix has ads?
Yeah. I mean, not ads. They had like what's the thing that was going on with Netflix? With the screen that you can only use.
Oh, I don't.
That you can only like watch TV
on one TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To stop like the password sharing.
Password
stuff
sharing,
like that.
yeah. But they don't have.
I think Disney Plus are also talking about doing that too.
Okay.
So the streaming with ads like Hulu, and then the password sharing stuff.
I see. Okay, that should help them make some money then.
Yeah, but if I'm like a consumer, what's stopping me not just going back to cable?
Yeah, I know that's a good point, but yeah, right. Well,
because I have like most of them.
I know. Isn't that?
And I barely use them.
But isn't that the whole point of? Wasn't that the point of streaming? Isn't the point that Netflix kind of got big was because you could stream stuff without seeing ads?
Yeah.
Isn't that the whole point?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if all the other companies are having ads, yeah, you might as well just watch regular TV.
Thank you.
But at the same time, the ads are a whole lot shorter on the streaming services. You're waiting a minute.
I think it depends on the show, though.
You're waiting like a minute. Maybe 2 minutes would be a long time. When you're watching...
I mean, it also depends on what you watch, though.
Okay, but a lot of them are like 30 seconds or maybe 1 minute. If you're watching regular TV...
Still, I pay YouTube Premium not to...
I do too. Yeah, because for $12 a month, I'll do it.
7th if you're a student. Use your student email.
Okay, well, I'm not a student anymore.
No, you still use your student email out there. Is it still active?
You don't have access to it. I don't think you have access.
Okay. Well, let's keep on going, though. Besides Disney Plus stuff, you also brought up PayPal.
Yeah.
So
I'd like to debate that one, too.
Yeah, because I hate PayPal as much as...
Why?
I just hate it. Lost so much money with it. And it's like...
You lost money?
Yes.
Oh, with the stock. Okay.
Stock.
Plus, yeah, I did, too. You didn't lose as much as me, that's for sure.
You wouldn't be scared of like any other competitors at all?
No, I am scared of competitors, but PayPal is like the biggest. So I looked up the users. They have you look at these other competitors. I believe the other competitors, and one of them was one I never heard of. I think it had 40 million users. PayPal has 480 million users. 500 million people use PayPal. But it's the same thing for Apple Pay. Then you got Google Pay, you got Cash App, you got Zelle, you got all these other things. But PayPal is one of the biggest players. They have PayPal and they have Venmo, and those are two pretty strong.
What's the most popular smartphone in America?
iPhone. So that people are using Apple Pay.
Thank you.
But not for everything.
I mean, how long has that Apple Pay been around?
A couple years.
How long PayPal been around?
A long time, 20 years.
So say maybe next 5 years, you don't think Apple Pay might?
It's very possible.
Mm-hmm.
But the way I look at it too is if PayPal is one of the biggest users, whatever way the industry shifts or a new technology that comes out, PayPal can also adopt that.
That is true.
And the other thing is just because Apple is stealing market share, Apple's doing really good with it, and people are using Apple Pay, it doesn't mean they're the only service. What about everyone that uses an Android? What about some websites that don't want to use Apple Pay? There's all these different things. That's where PayPal would come in as the second player.
And I think now PayPal is still a little better for smaller businesses because a lot of businesses don't have Apple Pay.
Yeah, but a lot of small businesses have Cash App. Well, a lot of small businesses have Cash App, or they do have Apple Pay sometimes.
Okay, yeah.
Well,
so I guess it depends on place though too.
Yeah, I think it definitely Starbucks and stuff. Those type of places.
Yeah,
have
those
it.
take it. They take everything.
But I would think this. I'm not sure. I got to do more research on that. But yeah, I just feel like
I will say I do think now is a good time to buy PayPal because what's that, like a 5, 6, 7 year low that they're on now?
Yeah, if not more. Yeah,
Yeah.
at least 5 years. Yeah.
So,
well, actually, no. No, I think for the last 10 years, the PE ratio has been 20, 22, and right now it's at 11. So I think you're getting it the cheapest it's been in the last 10 years. But that's because the growth has never been this low. Probably, it's probably because it's right now is the time when there is more competition. 5, 10 years ago, we didn't have that. So,
okay. Besides PayPal, though, this is another question I have for you. What factors do you look at before you buy a stock?
I would say the most important are. So the two staples here are what's the valuation you're paying and what's the quality of the company. Now, I made a video on TikTok recently about this because I wanted to compare, is it better to, I was pretty much just like analyzing my own history of it as well as Warren Buffett's philosophy because I wanted to compare, would you rather, think of like going online or something and buying a brand new product from a really high quality store that's expensive versus going to like a dollar store or like a garage sale and getting something that's cheap but is lower quality. Which one is the better deal? Which one turns out better? Well, the thing that's confusing is Warren Buffett says normally his investing strategy is not to pay more than 15 times forward earnings for a stock, which is cheap. Like it's hard to find. Most companies trade over 15 times earnings. So on one hand, he's saying he likes to buy cheap, under 15. But on the other hand, he says that it's more important to buy a stock that is higher quality and pay more for it versus getting a cheap stock that's lower quality. And I've made that mistake so many times the past year or two when I look at things like Big Lots or I look at things like Ollie's. You could look at Kohl's, you could look at Walgreens, all these companies where the valuations are super cheap. They trade at 5 to 10 times earnings. You can even look at like a 3M. I don't know if I would say 3M is a low quality business, but they had a huge lawsuit that cost them $5-10 billion for the last year or two. But the point is to not just because you're getting a stock for cheap, it doesn't mean that it's gonna come back up soon. It means that there's normally a reason, and so that's why Buffett says he'd rather pay an expensive valuation. Like Costco would be a good example of where you're gonna pay 30 times earnings, but you're getting a high quality business. Costco is super predictable. The margins are good. It continuously grows. So Costco is a good example of a good business. But I'm going to try to avoid the rant here. But the point is the PE ratio is important because you don't want to pay too much. But the quality of the business is probably more important. And what does a quality business mean? There's a bunch of different things, but generally I would say return on invested capital because that tells you is the management team good and if the business is getting high return on capital, then the investment you make in the company should also get a high return on capital. And then look at their balance sheet, make sure they don't have a bunch of debt or liabilities, make sure they got way more assets and liabilities, and make sure that ratio is also improving, meaning the equity on the balance sheet is getting more and more every year, every 2 years. Other than the balance sheet and the return on capital, I would say the growth and the consistency of the net income and the revenue and even the free cash flow. But net income is probably the most important. So yeah, and you could say profit margins are important because you don't want a lot of companies only have a 2%, 3% profit margin, but really you want like 10% or 20% profit margin. But yeah, that's my rant.
And I also look at the news too. I think
Okay.
the news is very important too.
Well, yeah, the news, but I would say the sentiment or the feelings that investors have towards the stock is a better indicator. I think that's a better way to describe it. Because yeah, like how I was saying, with some of these companies like 3M or UPS, the valuations are cheap, and 3M is a pretty successful business. UPS, successful business. There's a huge moat. But if investors and people, if the volume's not there, people aren't buying the shares, people aren't interested, they don't care, then the stock's not going to go up. That's how you get stuck. That's why I bought 3M stock a year ago, and it's only gone down since, even though it was at a 10-year low when I bought it. So
I think it like really gets hard when he kind of like has to kind of like compare two stocks within like the same field or industry. Like say it's like two medical stocks, you kind of depend on deciding like which one we want to buy more. Like one stock
that
might
helps. That helps.
Think so?
When you have two stocks in the same industry,
Mhm.
if we look at McDonald's and Chipotle, it helps to compare them. I think the more companies you can look at in the space, it makes it easier to say. If we have like a Starbucks, a Texas, I don't know if Starbucks and Texas Roadhouse are similar, but
Starbucks and we can't do the
I'm just saying for restaurant comparison. So you could say Starbucks or you could say I forgot. Most of the restaurants
just do Starbucks and McDonald's.
Starbucks, yeah, something like that even. Like compare their PE ratios, compare their profit margins, compare all that stuff. I mean, if they're in more similar spaces, like I own Texas Roadhouse and I have Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel's another huge disappointment. It's like, why does that stock keep falling more and more? But
people still go there?
I would think so. I mean, no, actually, what I'm reading is that it looks like the old people that used to go there have not, since the pandemic, it hasn't gotten back to the levels it used to be at. So then now,
well, a lot of them are,
not alive.
Yeah,
that could be too. But it looks like
and COVID might still be a concern for some people too.
Right,
you never know.
There are people who still wear masks, so that's a possibility. But still, I don't know. I think Cracker Barrel is good. I think it's a unique store. And the other thing is they have a ton of locations, and the locations are always right next to the highway. So like anyone who's traveling, you only have like 3 options. You have like a gas station, McDonald's, Starbucks, Popeyes, and Cracker Barrel. Like you don't have many options.
Cracker Barrel might be last on the list. Not gonna lie. It might just be last on the list.
Well, it depends. I don't know. It depends. It kind of seems like there's been a trend after the pandemic of like people maybe not wanting to go out to eat as much or something, or they want quicker food service and they order food. I don't know. Things have changed a little bit. But I think Cracker Barrel is good, though. And the valuation was cheap. That's why I bought it. But the point is when you compare that with other restaurants like Texas Roadhouse is a more successful stock and business, I think. And it gives you a better perspective of like what kind of valuation, just different stuff like that. What valuation you should pay, how much are they growing, things like that.
And with Texas Roadhouse, I think another good thing is
Texas Roadhouse is always packed.
That too, like name, like your name, the name of the brand, and like just your experience, not experience, but like how people think about you means a lot too.
Yeah, but Texas Roadhouse is just as popular as Cracker Barrel. They're like the same.
I think the Texas Roadhouse, like on social media and just in general,
has
Texas
a better
Roadhouse,
reputation.
Better reputation.
I guess.
Like, everyone loves their dinner rolls. Like you can't say no one has nothing said anything bad about Texas Roadhouse.
But they said Cracker Barrel. They said this year what their strategy
Cracker
was.
Barrel looks like a racist institution.
You think so?
Looks like a racist institution, but that's more like the down south feeling.
Yeah, it has that. Yeah.
So
I never thought of it like that, but Cracker Barrel said this year what their strategy was they were going to start selling alcohol.
Okay.
To get young people in there or whatever.
Wait, they don't sell alcohol at all?
Like not until this year, I think.
I didn't know that.
I don't know if it was like mimosas.
They should sell moonshine. It was a
Yeah.
should sell moonshine.
Yeah.
Be like the Dukes of Hazzards.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of. That's funny.
You kind of dress like a Duke of Hazzards.
No,
to me.
I'm not.
Luke
Oh my
Luke
God.
Duke.
No, get out of here.
Niko Duke.
But anyways,
Yeah, let's keep on going. I've been kind of jumping around on the list though. But what's next? You want to talk about
Robin
Ford?
Hood.
Or you want to talk about Robin Hood?
Let's go down the list. Robin Hood
All right, Robin Hood.
versus other online brokers.
So I mainly only use Robin Hood, but we
Yeah.
also have a large list of like Schwab,
TD Ameritrade. You could invest with Chase. You could invest with
Cash App.
Yeah, even Cash App or like SoFi.
Yeah.
Fidelity is the biggest, I think. I'm pretty sure Fidelity is the biggest.
So which one do you just use Robin Hood?
I use Robinhood and Fidelity.
Which one do you like more, Robin Hood or Fidelity?
I think Fidelity is more professional and like maybe I don't want to say maybe reliable. Maybe like if I was gonna say which one do I trust more, I would say Fidelity. But if I was gonna say which one do I enjoy using more, Robinhood. I love going on Robinhood and scrolling through, researching, looking up stuff, whatever. Just the interface is so much more enjoyable. Fidelity is really bad. It's boring. It's annoying to go through stuff and click on stuff. Robinhood, I can log in 2 seconds. I put in my password and it's in. Well, I put in my code, but for Fidelity, I got to put in the password and email and stuff. It's annoying. But I do think Fidelity is the more professional, like reliable company, though.
So you think online brokerage is like the move, or do people still like go to like those Edward Jones places for?
Yeah, I think they do that. They do that. Well, yeah, they do.
I have my Roth IRA with Edward Jones,
Okay.
but I just check online though.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think maybe people who have a lot of money, or maybe older people, those are the people who are maybe going to like a wealth advisor, and maybe they go in person or they go to the actual location.
Yeah,
'Cause a lot of
having like an
people don't-
advisor seems like a rich person thing.
Right.
Somebody with money to things to do.
Right. Because I don't think most people don't pick stocks. But
Yeah,
at the same time, you don't even need to be a stock picker. Like I don't care how much money you have or what age you are. You can go buy an index fund on your phone, So I think that's a better way to do it. Then you don't have to pay any fees. You won't pay any fees to the commission
To the man,
person.
huh?
Yeah.
to the man, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Next on the list is Ford. So Ford company.
There's been a lot of like industries on strike this year. Have you noticed that? The last 6 months the auto workers were on strike.
Yeah.
The
Then,
UPS workers were on
UPS
strike.
workers.
That's why that's part of the reason the stock's gone down. And the whole entertainment industry, all the writers and actors were on
Writer's
strike.
Yeah.
And I think there was another one. It's weird. There's like a bunch of people on strike.
This is the year of the strike.
right.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
I don't know. I think remember when was the Starbucks thing? Wasn't Starbucks employees trying to unionize or something? I think they did unionize in certain cities. I think Seattle or something.
Oh, that was last year, wasn't it? I remember that. I think so.
It's been going on, but you
didn't
still
remember
hear about it though.
Yeah, because
So-
that's when Schultz's name was in the news a lot.
Right,
Howard
right.
Schultz.
Yeah.
But no, this time Ford. So Ford, this kind of hits closest to home. So over in Illinois with the warehouse being right there.
The Chicago Heights.
Yeah, Chicago Heights or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere right over here.
Yeah, so Ford, the workers are on strike for the past, it was like a month or so, maybe, if not a little bit longer. But,
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but they have finally reached a tentative agreement with Ford and the UAW workers, and it says the factory workers will be getting a 25% pay increase, and they will be getting an 11% increase the first year that the new contract starts. So,
Right.
how you feeling about that, though?
I think 25.
Round of applause, though. 25%.
25% is really good. Well, depending on how long it takes. If they mean 10 years or something, then that's not good. But
Yeah, they didn't let us know how long the contract's for. They say they get 11% pay increase the first year. So they're going to be like an increments of it going up 25%?
I know. I wonder how that would work. But I mean, 11%. 11% is that's a step in the right direction. It's
Yeah.
not.
Or
Gonna,
will like the extra percent go up to like a holiday pay or something like that? Like they might get like 3-4 holidays a year. So I don't know how it's going to go.
I don't know, but they said the end goal was going to be the average. No, not the average wage. I think it was the highest paying wage at the assembly line was going to be going from 32 now up
To
to
like 40.
up to 40. I don't think it's the average. I think that's the highest paid.
Yeah, so good for them. The past couple of weeks, they were out there picketing.
Oh
Saw them
yeah.
out there, yeah. So
I mean, I would think the deal's like probably like 5 years or something, right? 3 years or
I
5
think
years.
it's longer than that.
It could be, but
I think it's longer.
so you don't think they're getting to 40 an hour until 7 years away?
I don't know.
10
Yeah,
years?
because they haven't released any type of details. It's just a tentative agreement.
Tentative.
Yeah. So whatever that works, man. I don't think it's like a fully like hey, but this is like red in stone kind of thing. But like, hey, this kind of like, hey, shake my hand. You should shake my hand. We agree on this kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's what I think it is, though. But they haven't gone over the true details, or at least kind of explained it for everyone else in the public. But shout out to the Ford workers, man. You think the Ford Mustang is going to be going up in price?
Yeah, probably. I saw Friday. I saw a what's it called? The Ford Lightning.
That's the
It looked kind of cool.
pickup truck, right?
Yeah. I was like, I walked past it. I was like, something looks off about that F-150. I was like, that doesn't look normal. And then it said Lightning on it. I was like, okay, that's why. Because you could tell the pieces look different. All the EVs, they look more slim or something. They have like
because
that.
without the engine, yeah.
Yeah.
They do have like a slim look to it.
Everything is like smooth. Like the whole car is just like it's smooth. It's
It
weird.
looks like too perfect.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, but
I just saw an interview. What did I just watch? An interview or something where people were complaining about they're like the main reason we won't get a Tesla is because of the distance or something. Something like that. I don't know.
distance.
Yeah, like the mileage.
Oh.
You can only go 400 miles or 350 or whatever.
I don't know. The only Tesla I would think about buying is the Model S. I think the A and Y is ugly.
The 8?
S.
Oh.
What's that? The Model A and Y?
No, not A. All you got to do is remember sexy. That's the acronym.
Wait, what?
Sexy that's why they released the cars in that order. They released the S.
Yeah, the Y is
Then
ugly.
then they released a what's it called? Not the E.
Is that truck coming out yet? The big cyber truck?
Wait. Oh, 3.
3.
Model 3. So that's why they did it in that order. S, Model 3 for E, and
X.
Model X, and then Model Y. Sexy.
That's hilarious. 3 is, I don't like the 3. I don't like X, really. I don't like Y. I only like S.
I like all of them pretty much.
Well, we know. Let me see the new price of the new one. It was like 47 around that. Model S, new 71,000. That's the one I want. The Model 3 is probably like 44, isn't it?
Yeah, it's cheaper.
Yeah, because it just says starting at $329 a month at least. But yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see Ford with their new Lightning pickup truck. You know how much Americans love pickup trucks versus Tesla. So it's gonna be very interesting to see it. Very interesting to see the next 2 years when the full switch to all electric cars. So yeah, but
Full
next
switch?
Yeah.
How's that going to happen?
but 2025 all cars gonna be electric.
No.
Yes,
No.
yes,
All cars are going to be electric.
yes. That's made. They're gonna stop like.
Maybe in a certain state or a certain...
It's said everywhere just by 2025, supposedly.
I don't believe that.
Okay, we'll see. But that's what they say, supposedly.
California said 2030 or something. 2030.
No,
or
they're saying that all vehicles drive it. They said in 2025 they're going to stop production of any type of gas vehicle.
Really?
Just do all electric.
They better make some hybrid.
I like hybrid. I can do hybrid.
So what's going to happen to all the gas stations? Turning them all into EV charging stations?
Yeah, I don't know. America hates, I don't know, in war with everything. So we probably won't even need gas. We probably can't even get gas anymore next couple of years. So who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows? But yeah, let's keep on going. It was a small inflation increase in September. What's that, 0.4%?
Yep.
Yeah, so
But I think it's down to it's still down to 3.5% total or something. I don't know.
people still buying, it looks like, and the holidays coming up. So let's see how that goes.
Well, that's the weird thing. A lot of these companies, the other company I just checked with Hasbro, their stock is getting killed so bad. I'm so glad I bought Hasbro.
Kids don't want toys anymore.
Well, I don't know about that.
Kids don't want toys anymore.
I don't know about that.
Listeners and people who are watching us now on Jet TV, when is the last time you saw like a kid with a toy
You think they just care about iPhone and iPad?
and a tablet?
Okay, maybe.
Give him a
Maybe.
tablet.
I don't know. About
Give him a
that.
tablet.
Maybe you might be right. But
It's,
anyways,
it's literally Roblox, Legos, tablets.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the only toy they like. Would be like Legos.
Or Lincoln Logs.
What?
Lincoln Logs.
What is that?
Or Pokemon cards.
Oh yeah, Pokemon cards. Yeah.
But these companies, Hasbro, and then my poor UPS stock, down 20% on it right now. The UPS is like, oh, we think the season's going to be bad, and because they can like see far ahead, so they know what's going to happen within the next couple of months. They're like, the orders are down and stuff. Now they might just be downplaying it, right? So that way when they report earnings in 3 months, things look better and the stock goes up. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, if that's the case, if things are so bad, then why was inflation up? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that makes yeah.
And if inflation goes down and people don't spend money this Christmas, well then the Fed's going to cut rates then. If things got bad, I think they want a 3. What did they say? They want a 2% inflation rate.
2%, something like that.
Yeah, so we're almost there. So that's why I think next summer they're going to cut. But I'm not worried about that. I like having them. I like having the rates at 5%. I mean, I guess I get it. It's hard. I like it because then you earn 5% of your money, and it's an incentive to save instead of.
Everything else is so expensive.
Everything else is expensive. I know. So for buying,
so they have to go down.
They have to go down, but not that much. Like right now, it's 5%. Maybe put it to 3 or something. Don't go back to 1% or under. Is just that's not cool. That's not cool at all. I want 8% rates because I want to earn 8% on my cash.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. If you're next year is the presidential election, so let's see how that goes.
Yeah.
Okay, on the next thing. So we just talked about electric cars. Now China's new electric autonomous too.
Definitely
autonomous meaning no one driving it. Aircraft called the ETVOL has now been approved for use
for commercial air flights. Yeah.
So hey, the thing looks cool too. I'm looking at the picture of it. This
looks like a James Bond device or something.
It looks like a big drone. That's what it looks like a quadcopter, but like with humans.
I'm definitely not going on it.
Really? So you will go to space, but not on this? I'm looking at it now, but you go to space.
Yeah, because space we've been building rockets for a while. We haven't been building self-driving electric.
Yeah, this is cool though. I'll be scared though. Don't take me too far. Don't take me too far. Plus, with what the Kobe situation, I'm still kind of scared of helicopters too, and no one driving it too. Yeah, that's scary. But it's very cool though. Very cool.
All the things that could happen. So many things can go wrong.
There's so many things going on.
No one's driving it. How does it know where to go? The battery can die.
You know what? Another thing too, like the wings are at the bottom, so you can't even jump out really. Say it's like a malfunction.
If something's going wrong, you're screwed either way. Because if you jump out, you're gonna get cut in half by those wings.
Like it have to be like upside down for you to jump out.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, but yeah, China did it. Look at them. But I agree with you. I'm not. No, thank you. No, thank you on that one. But
I'll let you handle the next thing on the list because I don't know anything about it.
Okay, next thing on the list. What's going on? Hey, what's going on?
Hey, my band plays that song.
What's going on with crypto, Niko? Looks like big news for everyone who's into crypto. Bitcoin is now up around 35,000. This is the first time, the highest it's ever been at 35,000 since May of 2022.
Oh, here it says last week Bitcoin soars as BlackRock moves closer to launching a spot Bitcoin ETF. Okay, we've had that news by multiple companies over the last 2 or 3 years. That hasn't done anything.
You're very negative right now.
No, I'm not. I'm being realistic. Why is that a good reason for it to go up? Because another fund company is making the ETF.
That's just how it is with crypto.
But that's not anything new though. We've already had multiple of those out.
It got to be something else, but I don't know. Like with cryptocurrency, it's so different. There's a big difference between crypto and stock markets, just regular stocks. It kind of like moves on like its own accord.
Yeah, it does whatever it's want.
Yeah, so it went up to 35,000. Maybe next 2 weeks it'd be by 20,000.
Yeah, Bitcoin briefly surges to 35K as token rides wave of ETF optimism. Okay.
Yeah, if I'm the one if anyone has Bitcoin, I would like sell half of it now, honestly, if you haven't already. Because who knows? You think it's going to go back to like 40, 50? Go up to 40, 50 at all?
Yeah, I think it's possible. Yeah,
Think so?
I think all that has to happen is the next wave of excitement comes around, and then yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of hard to gauge excitement though too.
Well, kind of. You can go on Wall Street Bets. You can look at people talking about it. There's like websites that tell you like the search volume of stuff, and you can kind of figure it out. I don't normally do that because that's not. I feel like that's not a good way to invest.
I'm scared of cryptocurrency.
Yeah, me too.
I'm just scared of it. So I don't really understand it, don't get it, and I'm just scared of it.
Yeah, I thought I understood it 2 years ago when we were talking about it on the show, but
We didn't.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah,
I thought I had it figured out when Kathy Wood said it's going to 500,000.
Yeah, she
where
lied.
Are we now? She doesn't know what she's talking about.
I want to call her something, but we on the. This is a very kid-friendly show.
I thought she was the greatest investor after she got Tesla right, but then everything else is like. She was wrong about pretty much everything, and she says a 5-year time horizon. Well, guess what? I've been watching her in 2018. She started talking about Tesla. It's been 5 years. All the other stocks never worked out. She made Teladoc Health was a ginormous failure. I think I lost 90% or something crazy on that. Teladoc is Teladoc. I just checked it the other day. It's like below $20. It was in the teens.
I don't know how though. Actually, I do kind of know how though.
Because they're still not making money and they're not growing. It's like just a mess. It's just a mess.
Big mess. But congrats, round of applause to everyone who has Bitcoin. I know you're celebrating. I know when you first saw.
Congrats to everybody who didn't buy Kathy Wood stocks.
Them too. But besides that, let's keep on going though.
No, I remember telling people like when Bitcoin was at like 40,000 or something. But back when things were
all 2 years ago.
When things were bright and sunny. I remember telling people like, "Oh, if you want to get started with investing, the safe things to do are buy an index fund and buy Bitcoin because Bitcoin is safe and Bitcoin's going to 500,000 because Kathy Wood said so." But really, that was like crypto's one of the riskiest things you could do, and Bitcoin's like the safest one. I used to be bullish on Ethereum. How's Ethereum doing?
That's another one. Yeah, there's another one too, wasn't it?
There's a couple, yeah.
We had a guy in here that used to mine it too. Remember him? One episode.
Oh, Ethereum's at 1,800, so that's like what it was when I was buying.
Yeah, that's the same. I think it was like 24 back then though too.
So the last time it hit anywhere above 2,000 was early 2022. So we're going on almost 2 years now, and then at one point it was 4,600. Now it's only 1,800.
Jesus. All right, but let's keep on going though. Niko, on this list here, it says you think index funds are the way to go. Why do you think that?
Because they're really predictable. It's
kind of funny how the past couple of years since we've been doing this podcast, you're thinking about a lot of things that's changed as you got older.
Yeah, you're right. You are right. I'm growing as an investor, but I mean, I've done enough research on this topic over the last 7 years to become a pretty good stock picker, right? And I've learned from a lot of different people on how you become the best you can be. And I've got a lot of the fundamentals down, but it is not a for sure way of winning, of outperforming the index. So like Warren Buffett, some of these people, they can outperform. I think Bill Ackman, he's outperformed and stuff. Peter Lynch outperformed in the 90s, but Warren Buffett, he's very consistent with it. And you can follow their philosophy and it kind of works, but it kind of doesn't work. Okay? Apple was a successful investment. Bank of America was one of his successful investments. Bank of America hasn't moved though. The last 5 years it hasn't moved. Bank of America doesn't even grow their net income and stuff. So it's so hard to tell because those things I listed at the beginning of the podcast about return on capital, PE ratio, growing net income, those things are all important. The moat of the business, stuff like that. That stuff is important. But it's not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee. It's weird. It's hard to predict some of this stuff. It's kind of about which stocks are popular. That's why I think there is. If you are going to pick companies, pick the ones. If you can pick ones in the S&P, that's definitely going to help. Because if they're high up in the S&P, then the S&P always goes up. So those stocks are normally going to go up. Now, a couple of them are not. A couple of them are going to be losers. But if you pick the ones all the way at the top, the Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Google, Microsoft, that stuff, Nvidia, those you probably have a better chance. Now, Nvidia is a risky stock. Nvidia is definitely way more volatile than the other ones. But Apple, Microsoft, Google, I've been thinking about. Google, I don't even know. Google's like, they even Google has some risks to the business right now with ChatGPT. YouTube has a bunch of competition
ChatGPT
now.
kind of slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, well, kind of, but they just came out with ChatGPT 4. I don't think AI is like going away or anything.
Yeah,
but
I think it's gonna like who's gonna be the first one to like implement it
well,
into
Google,
like our regular lives.
Google,
First.
right, and Google and Microsoft have already implemented it. So Google could probably stick around. I think there's still going to be a Google search engine. It's just going to be with AI infused into it. That's probably realistic. I don't think just Google's going to disappear and be like, oh, nobody uses Google. Now it's just an AI interface that we use to research. I don't think that's realistic. But my point is that the Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, those companies, even like the Meta, those companies are probably going to outperform. You're probably safer buying into those companies. But really, just buy the index fund. That's like the way to go. I'm gonna put a big portion of my money into the index fund, and I'm still gonna pick stocks just like for fun. And I still think I can outperform. I think I have the edge on some of these companies to where I can, if I can make 20% in a month, that's a lot. Like I've done that a bunch of times. But if you're looking to pick stocks and you're like, oh, you don't care about being predictable or taking a risk, you almost might as well go to a casino, or you might as well do sports betting or something. At least with sports betting, if you can, I don't know, there's so many different things. So sports betting, at least.
Do you think sports betting is a better way to make money than investing in the stock market?
No, I wouldn't say that at all, because sports betting is more
Gambling.
It's gambling, but it's an all or nothing game. Like, you have to make the bet, and then if you're wrong, you lose everything. Stocks, that doesn't really happen unless you're doing options, which you shouldn't be. But if you're buying stock, like I lost 90% on a couple companies these last couple years, right? And then here and there I'll lose 20%, 30%. 3M I lost 30%. But a lot of these stocks I'll make 30% or 50%. Or Adobe I made 70. Meta I made 80. So you can make money like that. You're not going to make the same money you make in sports betting. You ain't going to 10x your money necessarily, unless you get lucky and you buy Tesla in 2018. But I would just say, all in all, it's better to buy index funds. It's safer. It's more predictable. You're going to make at least 10% per year.
It's more reliable, too, I think.
It's more reliable. You're going to make 10% per year. And if you are going to pick stocks, I guess you can lean into picking stocks. Just don't expect to, there's not a magic formula to where you can, pick even the highest quality companies can still go down. So it's kind of just better to do the index funds.
Index fund. Niko, index fund. I know. I'm
so
proud of you.
Have an index fund be 30%, 50%, 70% of your portfolio. Then with the other money, then go buy some stocks. And if you want to be extra safe, buy the Apple, Microsoft, Google. But if you're buying weird companies like Teladoc Health, DocuSign, Block, even like a PayPal, there's a risk. If you buy these companies where there's some risk to it, don't be surprised, or even, look at Disney. These stocks can downtrend for years on end. Walgreens has been downtrending for over 5 years. And that's a big company. It's a big name. So you have to expect that stuff to happen. That's why that stock picking stuff should be a minority of your portfolio.
Cool. Keep a balance.
Keep a balance.
Have the index a little bit more.
Have the index be a higher weight, yes. That's why so many hedge funds can't beat the S&P. It's like, what's the point? It's like those are some of the best investors in the world, and they can't do it. Warren Buffett, I don't know. We'll have to bring him on the podcast and ask him what the true secrets are, because
he probably sold his soul to the devil, honestly.
Maybe
something.
There's a couple other guys out there. I forgot their names, but there are a couple other that can get 20-30% a year, which is a lot. But I don't know. It's weird. It's weird.
Cool. So I think the last thing we got on the list is round of applause to Jeff Bezos and Amazon. They beat expectations.
Oh, good. Good for them. The stock didn't go up enough.
It went up enough for me.
No, it didn't. It was at 120, 130. I think it went up to 140
it
at some
stayed
point.
consistent. It stayed consistent.
Well, it's been right. I needed it at 155 to break even.
That'd be really nice for me. But yeah.
It'll happen. I mean, it's Amazon.
It is Amazon.
It might take a year, but it'll happen.
I don't know. Holidays coming up. Black Friday.
I know. That should help.
Might be the time. But you got anything else to add?
No. Buy an index fund. Don't buy stocks.
Buy AMD though.
No,
buy
don't
AMD.
do that either.
No, buy AMD.
That's one of those companies that will go down for 3 years straight or something.
Buy AMD. But yeah, just to reiterate, we're not stock investors. A couple guys just talking about.
I am a stock investor.
Oh, you got the board? You did the test?
Oh, I took the test and failed.
Oh, okay. When are you gonna take it and pass it?
Like a couple weeks.
Eh.
You don't need a test to be an investor.
Well, stock. What's not investor? But what's the name of it?
An advisor.
Advisor. Are you an advisor?
No, not yet.
Okay. Well, hopefully next time we do an episode, you're an advisor.
I'll probably be like in a month or so.
Okay. Real quick, what's the Discord again?
The Discord is, I believe, if you look up Stock Talk with Niko Kritikos, let's see.
And I'm gonna be putting the link.
Yeah, Stock Talk with Niko Kritikos, and we'll have the link posted all around.
Yeah, on this episode. Just check the description on that, and yeah, guess that's it. Thank y'all for tuning in for episode. What's this? 54 of Stock Talk with Josh and
Niko Kritikos.
Y'all have a good one now. Be blessed out there. Enjoy your Halloween too. Yeah. So I think we're gonna be posting this on.
What are you being
Halloween,
for Halloween?
actually. Myself.
Oh, okay. That's not very good.
What you gonna be at for Halloween?
Pennywise.
Okay. I like that. Take some pics though, bro.
Okay.
All right. Besides that, y'all have a good one out there. Watch some scary movies out there too. Eat some popcorn. Be blessed out there. Be safe. Try to save some money if you can. I know it's kind of hard, but save some money and invest wisely. Invest wisely, and yeah, I think that's it. Got anything else to add?
Nope. Time to get some food now.
All right. Y'all have a good one out there, and bye-bye now. Oh, also, to greener days ahead.